Hello ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, I have a brand new top 10 for you all, and I am going to be counting down the top 10 Ghostface kills. So of course, Ghostface is the face of the Scream franchise, which just had its 6th movie drop in theaters this past weekend, and it just so happened to be the biggest opening weekend for the franchise ever. But with a new Scream movie, of course, comes new kills. So which of them make the cut today, and which of them gets slashed away? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to find out. Very quickly, I wanted to issue a major spoiler warning. Of course, talking about Ghostface Kills in the Scream movies, I will be revealing which characters are killed in which way. And yes, this also does include spoilers for the recently released Scream 6. So, you have been warned. Before I hop into the actual top 10 countdown, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my top 10 videos. So if top 10s are your thing, then be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. Number 10. Charlie Scream 4. What I love most about this one is that I personally wasn't really expecting Charlie to be one of the killers all that much. It looked like he was about to die in a fashion that would pay homage to Steve, the very first kill of the Scream franchise, of course being Casey Becker's boyfriend, and it was going to be right in front of the supposed girl of his dreams, Kirby, only for us to find out that he was one of the killers, and he supposedly kills Kirby by stabbing her right in the stomach. As if that wasn't shocking enough, it's then revealed that Jill is our other killer for this movie, and then she stabs him in the back. Well, metaphorically in the back, because she actually stabs him in the chest. But essentially, she wants to be the only one to have a claim to fame as a survivor of this massacre. Emma Roberts as Jill brought a whole new meaning to Cutthroat, with one of the most shocking betrayals in horror movie history. Number 9. The Scream 6 opening kills. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one because I'm going to be counting both, or I guess you could technically say all 3 of the opening kills for Scream 6, because I loved this opening. It truthfully may be my personal favorite since that of the original. We open with the excellent Samara Weaving as she is waiting for her date to arrive. Of course, Samara Weaving and this team of directors and executive producer known as Radio Silence worked together on the superb Ready or Not horror movie, which released a few years back. We follow her into a dark alley knowing what's coming, and then she is violently stabbed to death and left to rot there in this dank, dark alley. But that's not the end, folks. That is not the cut to black, the Scream 6 title card. We keep going by following recent Spider-Man trilogy star Tony Revolori as he walks so calmly back to his dorm room, passing some of our main characters, and we stick with him, and there is just this long, dreadful game of hot and cold until he opens the fridge and finds his roommate's dead body all chopped up. The roommate who he thought he was on the phone with, only for him to then be violently stabbed to death in his own dorm room. I loved this. I thought the tension building was executed perfectly. I love that they incorporated a new game being hot and cold into one of these openings, not just like what's your favorite scary movie or whatever. The atmosphere, the tone, all of it was just purely chef's kiss and set up wonderfully for what was to come with the rest of the movie. Number 8. Tatum in Scream. So I want to first start off by addressing with this one that yes, it is also a bit goofy, but there's no doubt that it's memorable, okay? We all know that there is no way, shape, or form that any kind of garage door ever would be able to carry the weight of an entire human being trying to sneak through the little doggy door, and we know that there's no way that it would have killed her the way that it killed her. Garage doors just don't work like that. So yes, in that sense, it is a bit unrealistic, it is a bit goofy, but that in no way, shape, or form makes it any less brutal and unforgettable. We've all seen it, we all know it, and we all remember it very well, as one of our lead characters gets crushed with a garage door. Number 7. Officer Richards. So firstly, you may not even know who I'm talking about here because Officer Richards was a very, very minor character, but you definitely know what I'm talking about when I say the hood of the car kill. Yes, this is the sequence where one police officer is murdered in the front seat, our Ghostface jumps into the driver's seat, and Officer Richards, in an attempt to save Sydney Prescott and her friend, jumps on the hood of the car, and Ghostface crashes it, sending a pole straight through the back of the officer's head in a bloody, disgusting, visceral kill. So whether you know the character or not, you definitely remember this one. Number 6. Officer Perkins in Scream 4. So I do feel that both of these officers, played by Anthony Anderson and Adam Brody, were wasted characters. I mean, you have two great actors here, and you barely utilize them to your advantage at all, which was quite unfortunate. Adam Brody's death is insanely forgettable. He just gets a single stab in the back, and that's that. But Anthony Anderson's character, Officer Perkins, has a death that has been etched into my brain since I first saw it. He gets a vicious forehead stab, and then Ghostface removes the knife, he gets out of the car and is still alive. He is walking around, blood pouring down his face, swinging, fighting for his life, only to drop after what, maybe 10 feet? This one is demented and horrifying because it's not just a single stab and he drops like we get oh so often in this franchise. No, this guy is already dead and he just doesn't know it, and he is so desperately clinging on to life, trying to fight back against this unknown masked assailant, and I think this is the only time we've gotten a forehead stab throughout all 6 movies. Number 5. Maureen Evans in Scream 2. The whole setup for this one is just pure genius. We have her boyfriend going to the bathroom during the movie and then getting brutally murdered without her knowing. When Ghostface returns in her place, it is completely unbeknownst to her. And when Ghostface begins his attack, everyone else in the crowd is going so apeshit over this movie that they think that she is just acting and it's all a part of the theater experience. It isn't until she gets up in front of the screen at the very last seconds of her life and lets out an ear-splitting wail of a scream that is forever burned into our eardrums that they realize, oh shit, she has actually just been stabbed and murdered right in front of our eyes. This was a hell of a follow-up to the opening of the original Scream, and by far the best part of this original sequel. Number 4. Olivia Morris in Scream 4. Everything about this one is phenomenal. We have Ghostface on the phone playing games with Jill and Kirby. Kirby has had enough and goes right into the closet where Ghostface says he is hiding, only to discover that Ghostface is not hiding in their closet, but in their neighbors and good friends, Olivia's closet. He pops out, she fights for her life like most of them do, and the entire fight scene is exhilarating and terrifying. You have that stab through the hand, slam through the window, and everything else, and by the time that someone finally reaches her room, it is a bloody mess, in what might be the most disturbing aftermath to any of the kills in this series. Maybe a close second, but you have her innards all over the bed, and blood sprayed all over the room. It is truly the stuff of nightmares. Number 3. Wes in Scream 2022. This one is far too overlooked in my opinion. So Wes, played by Dylan Minnette, is downstairs setting up and preparing for a meal with his mother, who, unbeknownst to him, was just murdered violently right outside his front door. We then follow along with this character through a series of expertly executed fake-outs until he is then finally confronted by Ghostface in what has to be the most agonizing to watch kill in this series. I do not know how more people do not talk about this one. You can see the fear and desperation in his eyes, and actor Dylan Minnette plays it up so well. He is trying to push this knife away from him, but it just gets slowly closer and closer. The camera does not cut away once, and we see it slowly drive into his neck and out the other side. Even when it's in there, this poor guy is still fighting. It is shockingly visceral and by far the most overlooked kill of the franchise. Number 2, Dewey in Scream 2022. So this one gets the runner-up spot, not only for its sheer brutality, but the utter heartbreak that it causes. Dewey may very well be my favorite character of all the Scream movies, and I truly feel that David Arquette gave the best performance of the entire franchise in this movie. His final go as Dewey, he went out with a bang, and this man gave it his all. I loved how they wrote the character, and I loved David Arquette's performance. We think he finally has the one-up on this Ghostface, shooting the Ghostface, like 3 times or something? He's going in for the final kill. He wants to be the hero one last time, and of course, above all else, protect Gale, only for him to have his feet swept out from under him, stabbed in the front and the back, and having both pulled up while his insides splash out. I was simply crushed by the death of Dewey, but they 100% delivered a damn unforgettable kill at the same time. Number 1, Casey Becker in Scream. So there's really no need for an explanation with this one. In my opinion, and the opinion of many others out there, this is the most iconic and best opening to a horror movie ever. Between the game of cat and mouse, her watching her own boyfriend be viciously murdered before her eyes in a very disturbing, nightmarish fashion, then the chase sequence ensues, and as she is just mere feet, seconds, moments away from reaching her parents, she is then killed, and she tries oh so desperately to scream for them, but the words just won't come out. It's like all of our most horrifying nightmares come to life, when you are just oh so close to someone or something and you just can't quite get there, or the words won't come out. They brought that to life in this opening scene, and the aftermath is something that will never leave any of our minds, where she is strung up, her intestines are all over the place, and then the shrill shriek of her mother upon the discovery of her body strung up in the trees. It's just something that has never ever left me, and never ever left many others. It is savage, and it is one hell of a way to open a franchise, let alone this first movie. And to think how oh so innocent it started by a simple question of what's your favorite scary movie. Without a doubt though, it is the most memorable kill in the Scream franchise and more than worthy of this top spot. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my top 10 picks. While you're at it, don't forget to let me know what you would have picked as the top 10 Ghostface kills. If you're a movie lover whatsoever, then my channel is the place to be for you. Be it top 10s like this one, ranking videos, versus videos, tier videos, I have it all, and so much more, with well over 700 videos already on the channel for you to enjoy. So if you enjoyed this particular video, then be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if any of that sounds like it's right for you and you want to see more from me, then smash that subscribe button right now. While you're at it, don't forget to ring that little bell icon, that way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.